Welcome back to Night City after a long wait for the last review of the full-blown Atlas game supplements, Greenwar. Atlas made a lot of smaller and shorter modules, but Greenwar stood out alongside Chrome Berets' original adventures. Greenwar also stands out from the other modules as it goes in a completely new direction, with the players being tasked to make a rival corporation ripe for a takeover. It's a sandbox adventure, but it's a sandbox with some pretty steep borders and where you can do everything right and still lose. Fortunately, in that scenario, you still get paid. So what makes the module so good? I'm Mr. Welch, and it's time to take a poison pill. Greenwar was written by Thomas M. Kane for Atlas Games back in '94. Brent Ferguson did the cover art. He also shares interior art duties with Doug Schuler. The book clocks in at 96 pages, making it beefy for an adventure. It's on par with Chrome Berets in that category, but well smaller than Night City Stories in page count. Might as well give you the bad news first. You can't find this game online. I tried. It's not available through Atlas Games. I can't find it on eBay or the used game sites. There's a guy on Amazon that thinks his copy's worth $900 and a couple more that want nearly $1,000 for it. I'll tell you what, if you want a copy, I'll sell you mine for half that. It's $12 retail if you're curious. Greenwar has the entire party hired on by the Browning Group to help them facilitate the takeover of a transport company called Liverpool Shipping. There's nothing nefarious about it at all. For once, everyone involved is on the up and up. You get a budget. Your job is to buy 51% of the stock by any means necessary. Succeed and you get a massive bonus. Fail and you get fired. Screw up really badly, like destroy the company you were hired to buy, and then you better find a place to hide. Then you can actually complete this mission without breaking a single law. Watching edge runners finish a mission without breaking the law is actually humorous because eventually they will try to steal a car just to maintain their bad boy reputation. Once the party has their mission, it's up to them how to proceed. They do have a few restrictions on how they can do that, most of which is they can't permanently destroy Liverpool assets. This is a takeover, not a corporate war. Browning Group would really like to add Liverpool's assets to its own. The party gets their pay docked every time they blow up something important. A little destruction is fine, but if they start costing Liverpool its lucrative shipping contracts, Browning is going to get angry because those were part of the reason they wanted to buy Liverpool. So the party has numerous options, but the goal is the same. Reduce Liverpool's stock price by getting shares released to public at a rate that will depress the value, and the party can acquire new shares at a discount. The problem they will encounter is if they act too quickly, Liverpool will immediately recognize the tactic and take countermeasures to shore up their stock price. They probably even won't know who or where the characters are, but Liverpool knows the signs of a hostile takeover when they see them. So the name of the game is Stealth, Subtlety, and Misdirection. This adventure will tax the imagination of your players as they have to get creative in their mission. Just because the adventure is good doesn't mean it's easy, and bad luck can scuttle this adventure without the players screwing up anything. Diplomacy is a major part of Greenwar. The first problem they're going to encounter is more than 50% of the shares are held by board members of Liverpool Shipping. Killing them doesn't work most of the time because the shares go back to the company, and too many deaths draws all sorts of unwanted attention. If board members suddenly start developing sudden cases of death, the security on the remaining members exponentially gets harder to crack. The party is going to need to set up appointments with the shareholders, then try to get them to sell their shares outright or release them into the market. Some are fanatically loyal to the company, but most want cash. The trick is driving down the price so market value favors the party. If talking isn't working fast enough, the party will have to resort to unsavory method or dirty tricks. Blackmail is a fantastic method for some of the shareholders. Some of them have a sordid past or a dirty secret they will pay to keep hidden or can be revealed to the right parties to remove the shareholders without revealing the party's involvement. There's a lot of research roles in Greenwar. Medias and netrunners are going to be spending more time looking through old news articles or HR reports than breaking into Liverpool archives. There's a lot of things to be uncovered in the party's efforts to lower the stock price. There isn't a lot of combat inherent to this adventure, which is kind of blasphemy in Cyberpunk, but Greenwar manages to do it. The party has to watch out for the scale of the destruction. Proving that Liverpool can't guard its own assets can reduce stock prices. Blowing up a ship full of chemicals also reduces the stock value, but it also reduces the overall value of Liverpool, as well as getting one of their major customers to cancel their contract, and further reduce the value of Liverpool to the concern of your employers. Unlike other adventures, players have to avoid permanent harm to the target. This module is not easy, remember that. After sabotage, diplomacy, and research, you get to move on to public relations. Creating dissent in the ranks of Liverpool personnel is a major objective. Because it diverts their attention, it's also harder to track down. Best part is you don't have to be accurate. The more devious you are, the harder it is for them to counter your absolutely blatant lies. You'll need various roles to help create the more insidious falsehoods. A media, a corporate, or a fixer would excel at this. Netrunners can help with the spread of the rumor, and techies can help sabotage devices that can broadcast the message further. There's a lot in this module that rewards creativity. The hazards the party will face is based largely on how well they can stay hidden from Liverpool's attention. If Liverpool finds out the source of their problems, they will have numerous teams that can attempt to take out the party. If the party can remove the assassin teams, it helps with the takeover as board members start to lose faith in their company's ability to defend itself. If they break the law, there's a good chance Liverpool will just have them arrested. If they get caught embezzling or violating the terms of their contract, they also risk being arrested by the Browning agency or just simply fired. The party has to stay on the up and up in Greenwar. Browning won't mind if you blackmail or extort a member of Liverpool, but Liverpool won't think twice about calling the cops on the party. A hidden danger to the party, and it's not a physical danger, is that members of the Browning group have their own agenda. If one of their employers decides to cut their own deal with Liverpool, the party will find their work for naught as acquiring Liverpool becomes impossible due to internal sabotage. In this case, they will find themselves paid for their work, and at least their resumes will be kept on file if they did a good job. Other allies might decide if the party does too good of a job that they will write themselves in as the winner instead. If the party plays their cards right, they might actually get offered a job by their traitorous employer. It's not the best ending, but it keeps the campaign going. That wraps up Greenwar. It's a great adventure because it breaks away from the normal sneak in and steal stuff adventures, but it doesn't lose any agency for the various characters. If the players can think of a way to achieve their goal, let them. There is no wrong way to run the adventure. It has almost countless replayability because of the staggering amount of options for the characters. While violence isn't always the answer, it will happen enough that the trigger-happy players won't get bored. But for the normal support roles like the techie or the fixers, the game seems designed for them. Too bad it's nigh impossible to find online because it's well worth your time. Maybe not your $900, but definitely worth playing. Next up, I'm looking at Cyberpunk Red, the 4th edition of the game released decades after 2020. What changed? What got better? What's worse? And what does it need? But until then, remember, I've got the brains, you've got the brawn. Let's make lots of money.